Okay, it's October 3rd, 2014, and I just wanted to come out and show one of my trees. And this is a good tree to show the difference between fall leaves and what was impacted, what we feel is impacted by the sprays. And so this yellowing leaves, that's normal fall. But look in here. See these dead leaves back in here? So there was one particular day I'd have to go back and log it, but look for it, what date it was. These are fried. These are fall. Same thing here. This is crunched, fried, not fall. These are fall leaves. This is an actual turning of the leaves for fall. And they're starting to dry. They're a little cracky, but they're not like this, crunchy. So anyway, I was starting to say a couple months ago, we had one particular week where they sprayed really bad. And we noticed right away the leaves, that back in August, it was starting to look like what we would normally have in October. And it just looked like these huge burn spots. You can still see them on the top of this tree next to this one. You can see like this. This is fall color coming on. This is it's soft and it changes. These are some burns, but I'm not surprised to see that. This is damage. And you can see where the tip of the plant was burned versus this stuff that's kind of more underneath is turning fall colors. And that kind of seems to be what's happening. It's what's sticking out there, what's exposed that, zooming in, it's what's exposed the most to the sky is where we're seeing the most damage. It's the tips of everything. So when you come back into the tree, what doesn't get as much spray is much healthier, but it's what's sticking out there on the edges that's really having a hard time with whatever's sitting on it. And I don't use any chemicals or fertilizers on these trees. I'm not in a financial position to do so. But I'm not spraying them or treating them with anything. And at any rate, a couple of months back, something was sprayed that did a lot of damage, and it really just caused a lot of burning, and we had a lot of leaf loss. And here you can see the tree is dying. It's, I want to believe in miracles, and I want to believe that nature can heal itself. But I can't deny that this tree is sick, and I can't deny that all of the trees in my area, whether they're oaks, cottonwoods, walnut trees, we can see this kind of damage. This is fall color coming on in these leaves. But this is damage. So one thing I'll be real curious to do in the near future, probably a good winter sport this season, is that for years I've been taking pictures here. including a lot of my pictures have this tree, this cottonwood, directly across my deck. And I'm curious to compare that with the cottonwood that you see right there. And then over at these trees over here in the background are an old walnut orchard. And so I'm curious to compare. I can see a lot of death in the walnut orchard. I'll zoom in on this tree over here to give you an idea. See the tops of all those branches? So I'm curious to go back and compare what these trees to previous years. I know that the corkscrew willow, which you can't see because it's planted behind this big monster, the corkscrew willow has been struggling, and that's a tree that was planted here when the house was built. All of these are, but it's one that because of the damage that it does in the roof and the amount of water that it takes to keep that tree alive, I'm not going to cry too much over that one, but I will plant 3 trees to replace it. Not all in the same place, but 3 trees to compensate for the work that it was doing. This one is showing both. This is showing fall coloring and burn. And I think the reason that I'm not seeing as much damage on this tree is because it doesn't get as much exposure. It's covered by the other tree. I'm going to zoom in. You can see the corkscrew willow. So there's your corkscrew willow, and then there's this other tree here. You can see the damage on the parts of the tree that are sticking out and are unprotected, the ones that are have the most direct contact with whatever it is that falls from the sky. So that's an idea of what's happening with the trees at my house. And we're going to keep watching this, and we're going to keep recording and keep documenting. We're never going to sit down, be quiet, or shut up. We're going to continue to cover this issue until we get a response and we get some action and we make this stop and we can get our skies to return to normal. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Much love.